Diabetes is reaching epidemic proportions in this country, with 1 in 10 adult Americans now being labeled as diabetic. So why is it out of control? Dr. James LaValle is here now with some answers, and it all starts with what we're eating. Great to have you here.
Thanks for having me. It's great.
So, you know, you think about having a healthy breakfast, and people think, well, I'm going to have some oatmeal for breakfast. If it's instant oatmeal, terrible thing to eat?
Well, it depends if there's added sugar to it or not. For example, this particular agent, this one here, that's got maple syrup in it. And so, you know, when you have added maple syrup, added sugars, plus depending on the serving size, you could be getting 2 or 3 servings of carbohydrates with that morning oatmeal.
And so pastries are out of the question, right?
Well, it's easy to tell people, you know, watch the pastries, watch the donuts, watch the cupcakes, and of course, watch the big gulps. We're still using them. But I think as people are switching to healthier transitions on their foods and they're thinking, hey, I'm going to eat a bagel for breakfast, got to be careful on how many carbohydrates you're getting in. You got to learn how to count carbohydrates.
Doesn't matter if it's a whole wheat bagel or not, right? It's still the same carbs?
Great. That's a great question, because a study just showed that it really doesn't matter whether it's whole grain or refined in terms of the carbohydrate burden that ends up in your bloodstream. What we're trying to do is prevent your blood sugar from going up too high after a meal. So postprandial hyperglycemia is the #1 cause for plaquing of your arteries.
You mentioned serving sizes, and I just looked at what you brought along with you here, and
Right.
I thought, who eats that much? I have about 4 times that much in the morning.
Right.
So let's take a look
sure.
at
This is a serving of granola.
That's granola, okay.
Right, and then this would be a serving of rice. Remember what happens when you go eat Chinese, folks. This, you know, we're getting a vat of rice.
So that's considered one whole
That is one whole serving
Oh,
of rice,
oh boy.
exactly.
Okay.
The bar over there, bars are real popular for breakfast
energy
nowadays.
bars, yeah.
You got to be careful. Look at the carbohydrate servings. You want to think about 15 grams as a serving. We try to educate people in our clinic that you can take in 100 to 140 grams of carbs a day, but the majority of that should be from vegetables and fruit, a little bit of legumes as well, and then maybe 2 up to 4 servings of starch a day. Just remember, 1 bagel, you knock out your servings for the day, and you'd better be physically active if you're taking in 4.
What can we take then to control this? I mean, what's the cinnamon out here for?
Well, cinnamon's great because cinnamon helps regulate blood sugar. So you can add this to your coffee. A lot of people like adding cinnamon to their coffee. You can add it if you're going to have oatmeal in the morning. I think one of the most important discoveries, at least in the last 5 years, has been white bean extract. So the use of phase 2, because there's actually an FDA allowable weight management claim, which that's very hard to get from the FDA. So it helps to reduce the absorption of carbohydrates, but in my opinion as a clinician, even more importantly, it reduces the glycemic index so that the blood sugar doesn't go up as high. That means I don't have as high a postprandial hyperglycemia, which is, of course, as I said before, the plaquing problem for our arteries.
So if I'm taking a big bowl of pasta, I should have some phase 2 before that?
Absolutely. You want to take phase 2, you know, in the morning before that bagel, before the pasta. So we're going to do a blood sugar, huh?
Let's do the blood sugar test on me. So
go ahead and just
washed my finger.
We're going to keep this on there.
Sorry.
We already did your finger and cleaned it.
We've done that.
We've done that. You're just going to hold this on here, and then all we do is do that. Wow.
There, you did it.
I sure did.
Okay, that didn't hurt actually.
Yeah, and there's that little drop of blood. And all we're going to do,
give it a read,
is get it on there. Well, let's give it a little
give it a
more.
squeeze.
There we go.
I'm a slow bleeder. There we go.
There it went. There we go.
It just beeped. I'm curious to know.
And now let's see what your blood sugar is.
Let's see.
So we can see it's
Hold it still.
119.
119.
Now,
there
when did you eat last?
Ooh, well, the beginning of the show we taped this morning, earlier, about 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock.
8:45.
So this isn't too bad, because 2-hour postprandial, you're under, about an hour and a half postprandial, you're about, under 140. That's good. What did you have for breakfast?
Oh dear, you don't even want to know. It was a lot of bad food because it was a food truck rally. So let's just say I didn't eat what I would typically eat for breakfast.
You know, this is a little higher than you want it to be. So maybe breakfast this morning showed it off.
Yeah, a chocolate muffin was actually the last thing I ate.
The chocolate muffin with the vanilla latte with the extra raspberry drizzle didn't help you.
No, it did not. Really quickly, what's the other thing in the
the other one is aged garlic extract. A lot of times when you're a person with diabetes, you have a lot of inflammation in your body. You plaque your arteries more, you oxidize your cholesterol. Aged garlic extract's been shown to actually slow and even regress the plaquing formation in the arteries. That was a UCLA study, very exciting.
Good.
And so I think these are two very valuable nutrients for a person that's either insulin resistant or a person with diabetes.
White bean.
White bean extract, known as phase 2, and aged garlic extract.
Aged garlic extract and cinnamon in your coffee.
Exactly.
Dr. James LaValle, thank you.
Great.
And thanks for not
having me.
hurting me at all. We'll be right back with more Daytime. Don't go away.